Okay. Chumash and Rashi, the Torah portion. Tzetzvah. Today is the fourth reading. Let's get right into it. What page is it on there? In the book? 591. 591. Okay. We are in chapter 29, verse number 1. Zeh hadavar, this is the thing. Asher tasa that you need to do lahem for them. Lekadesh reisam, in order to sanctify them. L'chayin li, in order that they should serve as ministers, kohanim, priests for me. Pare echad, one bull, ben bakar, the son of a bakar. Now the son of a bull. Look at that. Huh? That's a young bull, right? The son of a bull. Wow. We won't go there. The Elim and rams. Shnaim Tamimim, two that are pure, without a blemish. Rashi. Davar. Yeah. The kach, take. Rashi. Kamoy kach, like take. Right? Shtei gzeiresein. They are derived from two distinct roots. Achas hikicha. One is kicha, which is the imperative with the, right? Two-letter root, kach. The achas hu lakicha. And one other is a three-letter root, lakach. Also, lahalim pisrei nechad, ulahem rather. Nevertheless, they have the same meaning. Interesting. Par echad, one young bull, lachaper almaisa egel shupar. This is to atone for the sinful act of the golden calf, which is one young bull. Huh? What's going on? Everything's okay, Leslie? Huh? He wants to come and learn. Huh? To atone for the golden calf. Good try. So our verse is calling it a par, right? A par is a bull that's in its third year and older. An egel is in its first year. But they're the same species, so therefore it can bring an atonement, even though the calf is only a year old. The par is 3 years plus. So it's a par. Our verse is a par. Okay. Take one young bull. Okay. Now, why is a bull being used instead of a calf? Good question. Okay, further. So this is all to inaugurate the Kohanim, right? Olecha matzah is, and bread that is matzah, meaning unleavened. L'chal is matzah is belula b'shemen, and chal is matzah needed, or matzah unleavened bread again, belulas b'shemen that is mixed with oil. Rekike matzahs. Kike matzahs are flattened breads that are unleavened. Meshuchi b'shemen that are smeared with oil. Soilis chitim. It's made out of fine flour. Tasoisam, you should make them. Rashi. in 2. Lechem matzahs v'chalas matzahs v'kiki matzahs. So you have here matzah bread and matzah loaves, right?
Anything to do with Passover?
Anything to do with Passover? Not really. And matzah wafers, no, because all of the offerings in the in the Mishkan Holy Temple were all Pesachdik. They were all unleavened, except for the Shtei Alechem, which was Shavuos time.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I mean, maybe there's obviously there'll be some kind of connection, but not directly, exactly. So we have 3 types of matzah here: matzah bread, matzah loaves, and matzah wafers. Right? 3 types of varieties: revuche, bechalis, v'kikim, scalded and loaves and wafers. Scalded, not scolded. Sorry. Lechem matzahs hi akruya lamata be'ina chalas lechem v'shemen. The matzah bread, right? The first one is that which is referred to below the passage, which challah of oil bread. Hashem shenais and shemen, because you put oil on it. Krucha kedeged achalas v'kikim. So because it puts as much oil into it as which is scalded into loaves and wafers combined. Chalamidim buying eser chalais, and 10 loaves are brought of each variety. So it'd be 30 loaves altogether. Lulav v'shemen, mixed with oil. Keshe'en kemach, when they are still flour. They're mixed with oil. Yotzek v'ahem shemen u'bayluli. So you pour oil in them and mix them together, right? The flour, the fine flour, and the oil.
The matzah is challah?
Yeah?
Matzah is challah.
I mean, we use the term challah today, but we're talking about biblical term over here, right? Not the way we use it colloquially. Don't mix the because they are the same word, but it, you know.
Yeah. Or would have said matzah.
Huh?
Or would have said matzah. If it wasn't that. Yeah.
But because challah is a loaf. That's the concept of the challah, right? It's the loaf.
Okay.
Okay. Meshuchim b'shemen, they're anointed with oil. After they are baked, so then you anoint the bread over here with oil by putting oil on top after it's baked with a Greek letter chi, which is shaped like a nun. Like it's formed like a nun of ours. Okay. Now, all of these challahs that you made, you should place them al sal echad in a single basket, and you should offer them or bring them the sal in the basket, vesapar, together with the young bull, veshnei elim, and the 2 rams. Rashi ukrafta moisam. So it says you should bring them near. It's literally what it means, right? Where is that? El Chatzar Mishkan, to the courtyard of the Mishkan, of the tabernacle. B'yoyim hakamosei, on the first day that you erect the tabernacle. So when is this? Yeah, you know when this is? Hello? No? The other Rosh Hashanah.
Of the trees?
No?
Nisan.
Nisan. The first of Nisan. That's when was the not the Exodus. We're talking about the year after the Exodus now, right? The year after the Exodus, right? Exodus is the 15th of Nisan. The year after Yom Kippur, the day after Yom Kippur, God commands about the Mishkan, together with the clothing and all that stuff. Is the day after Yom Kippur, right? That's when he commands that we should. They already sinned with the golden calf before that. right? So that's why it's speaking about over here about being an atonement, the young bull, right? So now we're talking about after Yom Kippur. So now they gathered all the goods, right? Everybody gave their donation last week after Yom Kippur, and they built everything, and it was inaugurated 7 days before, which was the 23rd of Adar this month, right? 23rd of Adar. And on the first, that was all the prep actually. On the 8th day, Shmini, the 8th day, was Rosh Chodesh Nisan. That's what we're talking about over here. That's when it was finally put up the Mishkan in a permanent manner. Before that, Moshe Rabbeinu was doing it in the prep work, right, every day. And on the 8th, Rosh Chodesh, that's what we're talking about over here, right? Is that clear? I won't because we'll learn it again here. Yeah. Actually, it's not important. Obviously it's nice as you remember. What's important in learning Torah is now you understand.
Absolutely.
That's what counts.
Little levity.
Huh? Yeah. I got that. No, but I want to make sure that that message got through.
I'm hearing now.
Hey, now, all right. Okay, verse number 4. We're good, folks? Gonna bring some air into this office.
Thank you. Hope you do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ah.
Ah.
Morning.
Let David in, please. Thanks. Okay, verse number 4. There's Aaron. There's Baron Takrivel Pesach Oyel Moyed. Now, that's as far as the offerings. Now, as far as Aaron and his sons, Takrivel Pesach bring them near, close to the entrance to the Oyel Moyed. What's the Oyel Moyed? Tent of meeting. And they have to immerse in the water. Rachatzta, so Rashi picks up the word rachatzta because rachatzta means to wash, right? Zutfilas kolagufit. So Rashi says it means an immersion of the entire body in the mikvah, in other words. Okay. Verse number 5, v'lekachtis abigodim, and you should take their clothing, v'ilbashte es Aaron, and you should dress Aaron as ketoinis. What should you dress him with? The ketoinis, which is the tunic. There's a me'il, which is the long robe, right? What's in the bottom of the robe? And bells, bells and whistles, right? Now, how the pomegranate became the whistle, that's a good question. Where'd that come from? Huh? So, the pomegranates and the bells in the bottom. Ephod, which is the me'il of the ephod. We learned that from Rashi previously, right? That's an ephod. And then the ephod, which was like an apron-like, right? There's a choshen, and the breastplate, which is attached to it, and it should be it should be girdled like ephod with the belt of the ephod. Rashi in number 5. This means keshet bisakin hachagaira basinar sivvaisa. So kashet means to adorn, and lasaki means to fix, to enhance. In other words, you're adorning and enhancing the appearance of the Kohen Gadol by binding the belt and the apron of the ephod around him. Interesting. I don't know if it's the first. Did we have it previously? No, I don't. I have to think. Yeah, we had it previously. Well, no, we didn't. Right, because by Mount Sinai they got sprinkled. They didn't have mikvah. But I think they just got sprinkled, not in immersion. Fiber. Might be. Good point. Okay, verse number 6. The Samta, and you shall place. So we had here the 3 of the 4 clothing of Aaron, right? The robe, the ephod, and the breastplate, and with the belt. The belt and the tunic are the same. The kohen, a regular kohen wears, right? Now he speaks about his hat. Sometimes mitznefet, the turban, the hat, al reisha on his head, and the sat is at nezer, hakodesh al mitznefes. Oh, remember we had this when we learned here the other day. And over the turban, you must place the holy. He translates here diadem. Yeah. So remember, we had a problem with this, right? Why does it say on? Nezer HaKodesh, the crown of sanctity, this is the tzitz. So it's interesting that that's what it's called over here. Well, we spoke about it yesterday. It was called the tzitz, and now it's called Nezer HaKodesh, a holy diadem, or crown of sanctity. Al mitzvah said it's on the mitzvah k'moshe parashi l'mayla, as I explained above. Ayidei apsil. I'm telling you, what does it mean? It's on. Right, the tzitz wasn't on the hat. There was space for tefillin, the hat, right, and it was on his forehead. So why does it say here on? Because it means the strings. Shnei psil s'shebereishay, the 2 strings at its ends. Hakshurim v'shleishtam ha'achrei ha'eriv, and 3 strings that were tied behind the neck of the kohen gadol. And these, and the tzitz is over the mitzvah like a hat because of the strings that make it like a hat, as we explained. Verse number 7, then you shall take, after now he gets, you dress him, then you take the oil, hamishcha, the anointing oil, the yitzakta al reisha, and you should pour it over his head. Mashachta isay, and you should anoint him. Rashi, mashachta isay,amishicha zu ki. This anointing, just like on the challah was, on the bread was done with a letter chil, which is like a letter nun of ours, right? So here too, and I said shemen al reisha, and you put the oil on his head. Between the 2 his eyelashes, and join them with his finger. So you're pouring it, huh?
Today's Ash Wednesday.
Uh,
Meaning, I'm just talking about the cross on the forehead that Moses did. It's identified it with that, that's all. I don't mean to bring up-
Whatever. That's right. Nothing to do with anything. His bond of Takriv, and now after you anointed Aaron, now his sons you will bring the Bashtel Katainus, and you dress him with the tunic. The Chagarta is, that's one garment, right? Chagarta is Abne, and you'll put the belt on. Aaron Avanav, the belt that is of Aaron and Abanav, the Chavashta, Lahem big boys, and then you will put on a hat. That's the third. So Lahem, Kunas Chukaseilam. Right. Alam big boys v'aisa lehem kunos chukas olam v'leisa yad aron yad banav, and this way you will feel the hands of Aaron and the hands of his sons, meaning you're gonna they'll fulfill their duties. You know which is missing by the Kohen Gadol and by the Kohen? Which garment? No, we mentioned breastplate by the Aaron. Totally by Aaron has a breastplate. Huh? Guys? Michnasayim, pants.
Oh, for me, for sure.
They're 3/4 pants. It wasn't mentioned here. They both wear the 3/4 pants. The Rebbe in the Sikha, very, very interesting how he explains that was. Remember that the clothing is lechabed l'sifaris, are to bring glory and honor, right? And they're also, are they are they more clothing? Or are they more a tachshit or more adornment? So it's actually a debate between Rashi and the Rambam that Rebbe brings out of what is the emphasis of the clothing, right? Is adornment or clothing? That excluding the pants, because the pants are just for very much for for modesty and basic, it's like an undergarment, basic clothing, and therefore it's not included, right, in all of this, which is interesting.
Because it was open. It revealed it.
No, without that you're revealed.
That's what I mean.
Right.
It was revealed.
Right. Okay, Rashi in 9. And it should be for them, meaning the filling of their hands, meaning the investiture over here, for an everlasting kahuna, priesthood. And you should fill through these things. That's how you're filling their hands, so to speak, figuratively speaking, right? Through these garments, right? Yad Aaron v'Yad Banav, the hand of Aaron and the hand of his sons. Milui Pekuda Sakuna, which means Milui, the inauguration, the appointment of priesthood. Number 10, the Krafta is a par. And then after doing this for them, then you have to bring their offerings. You have to bring the bull, the young bull, before the tent of meeting with Samach Aaron, and he should place Aaron and one of his sons is Yadehem, their hands al Reshapar, on the head of the bull. Right? And then you should slaughter Sapar, the young bull, Lifnei Hashem, before God. Pesach Oyel Mayid, by the entrance to the Oyel Mayid. Rashi Pesach Oyel Mishkan Shalifnei Pesach, meaning at the courtyard, right, in front of the tabernacle, in front of the Mishkan, and its entrance. And it's not inside. Yeah? Got it? Twelve. And then take from the blood of the par, of the bull, and place it on the corners of the altar with your finger, right? Adam. And as far as the blood, tishbak, the rest of the blood, in other words, you say to Mizbeach on the base of the altar. Take a message for me, I'll call them back. Okay, Rashi. Al Karnais, the corners of the horns that are sticking up in the corners of the altar, on top, on the actual corners. Yes, Kol Adam, and by the way, which altar is this? The outer altar, right? Not the golden altar that's inside the holies, but the one that's outside, right, in the courtyard of the sanctuary. Huh?
They feed it after?
Let's learn Chumash Rashi, and whatever else, we'll figure it out as we go.
Because they couldn't have cleaned it if it was inside.
Well, no, they did also there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Kol Adam, and for the rest of the blood, after you put on the corners of the altar, Shari Adam, the remnants of the El Yisayim Mizbeach, to the base of the altar, Kimi Belitas base Kibul Asu Yeloi. There was a protruding receptacle that was made on the altar on the Mizbeach, Savi that went all around it. La'acher she'ola Amma min haaretz, after it rose an Amma from the ground. Huh. Yeah, so there was a place where to put all the, yeah. Okay. 13. Belakachta. Now, further, you have to take, it's kol achelev, all of the fats, that is covering over the innards of the animal, you say, your seres and the diaphragm, la kaved, with the liver, ve'ashtei and the two kidneys, ve'achelev, and also the fat, asher aleim, that's on them, and that should burn on the altar. Rashi in 13. The fats that are covering, right? Covering is a care of the innards. Who hakrum she'alakera shekerim tela tole. This is the membrane on the stomach, which is called the tole. There's a uterus and the diaphragm. Botim shadikabda shekerim. As it's, this is the membrane on the liver that's called ibrei. Ala kaved, with the liver. Af mina kaved tol ima. Take some of the liver along with the diaphragm. Why some of the liver? The diaphragm is from the liver. I'm not very clear here. Gotta know your animals. Yeah. Okay. There's basar apar, and as far as the meat of the bull, this young bull, there's iron and its skin, there's pirshay and its waist, tisreif, burn, ma'esh, in the fire, michusamachana, outside of the encampment, chatasu. This is a sin offering. Rashi in 14. Tisreif ba'esh, you should burn it in fire. We don't find any kind of sin offering that the blood is placed on the outer altar, which is entirely burned, other than this one. A sin offering, part of it is burned on the altar, and part of it is eaten by the Kohanim. But this sin offering is completely consumed on the fire. That's what Rashi's saying. This is unique. I don't understand. It says here outside of the camp. I hear Rashi saying on the outer altar. That's not outside of the camp. No. Yeah, outside of the, but we wouldn't call it a camp. You call it the Mishkan. No, that's in the court. There's one in the Mishkan, in the holies, and then there is one altar that's outside of the holies in the courtyard. But outside of the camp means outside of the courtyard. That's the way I understand it, but maybe I'm wrong. 15. There's Ayol, and as far as the ram, right? Look at that. Dodge made it to the Torah portion. Dodge ram. Huh? Okay. So one ram, pikach, you should take v'samcha Aaron v'obanav, and they should place Aaron and his sons, as yedayim, their hands, al Rish Ha'ayil, on the head of the ram. 16, v'shachat is ayil. Then you should slaughter this one ram. The cocktail is dama. You should take its blood, but gazartam is ve'achsavim, and you should dash it on the altar around it. Rashi in 16, Zerakten, you should toss, you should be clean with a vessel. Eiches ve'mizra, you hold the vessel, v'zayre keneged akeren, and toss the blood towards the corner of the altar. So that the blood should be visible on both sides of the corner. No offering requires application of blood directly on the altar with a finger except for the sin offering. But the rest of the sacrifices, they don't need neither the blood on the corners of the altar nor to put it there with a finger. The chetzim is lamata because their blood is applied from the midpoint of the altar below, as opposed to the corners of the altar. The kohen doesn't ascend to the ram to apply the blood, because he stands on the ground and tosses it, from the vessel onto the wall of the altar below the line. Right?
I can't picture that. How high is the altar go? How high above the land is the altar?
Here, let me just show you.
6 feet or 5 feet up?
Here's the altar. Right?
Yeah.
Here's the corners, like horns, right?
Yeah.
They stick up. Here's the line. So they stay down here and they throw below the line against.
My question is the ramp that goes up to the altar. How high is the altar above the ground?
Depends which opinion. Let's say it's 10 amos. According to Rabbi Yossi, it's 10 amos. 10 amos is like 15 feet high. Here, this blood, you're not going that high. The blood from the bull, you went up partially because you put it on the foundation. You went up only partially, right? Here you're staying on the ground and you're just throwing it below this line. Oh, because it's below the line, so high level, I guess.
Okay.
That's why I would understand. Saviv. What does it mean all around? So it's explained in the Talmud. It doesn't mean you go around and sprinkle all the way around the ark, the altar rather. What it means, it's 2 sprinkles on 2 corners that are all around. Why? Because you touch the corner, so you got 2 sides. Touch the other corner, you got 2 sides, and that's called all around. Yeah, diagonally. Yeah. In each application, you see 2 sides, right? So this way, the blood is now on all 4 sides, and that's what it means, saviv, all around. That's why it's called all around. 17, there's an aisle and the ram, tenateach, cut it up, and you should wash its innards, wash it, and its legs, the chosav, the al reshe, and place them together with the other pieces, and its head, is the sachab, even the sachab, musaval, the shara, so the sachim. So you place it together with pieces in addition to the other pieces. Now, because you have from the, I think it means from the par, from the bull. So together with those pieces, you put these pieces. The big tarta is an aisle, and you should burn the ram, kol aisle, the entire ram, hamizbecha, on the altar, oilahu, it is a fire offering or an ascent offering, really, right? Oila from the word aliyah, right, to go up. La Hashem for God, reach nichayach. It is a pleasant fragrance. Yishe la Hashem. Who? It is a fire offering to God. It is. Rashi. Reach nichayach. So sorry. This is a pleasant fragrance before me. That I've said that you will fulfill my will. Right, it says that it's a pleasant fragrance. What's the pleasant over here? Because you fulfilled my will, so that's what is the pleasantness and the right. Ishe, lashon eish is an expression of fire. The hektar is a varim shala eish. That means the burning of the limbs on the fire. Let's take a brief look. Okay, let's go to verse number 2 from today. Sichon the Rebbe, verse number 2. Yeah, today.
Okay.
Remember all those the three different types of breads, right? So the last Rashi Mishuchim B'Shemin, that they are smeared with oil. After they're baking, you smear oil on top of it like the form of a Greek letter ki, right? Which resembles a nun of ours, right? Got it? See it there? Yeah, okay.
We're talking about Rashi right now.
Talking about Rashi, exactly.
Here's the oil. The last part of it.
Yeah. So the Rebbe questions that in Parshas Vayikra, Rashi brings her a machlokes, a debate, an argument about it, that our sages are divided about the smearing.
I think it's form, you know.
One opinion says that they would take the oil and just go back and forth until all the oil was used, right? No particular shape, it sounds like. Yeah, and then there's an opinion that says that it was like the letter, the Greek letter ki, chaf, which is like a nun of ours. But here in our Rashi, he doesn't mention the second opinion. He only mentions one opinion. How come? Furthermore, why does Rashi go to such an extent that, it says, the verse just says smearing oil. Why does it come and say the way the shape of the oil was, that was done like a nun? Right? Where do you see that in the verse? Right? That he should come and explain it. We're not questioning the fact of it, right? The fact that that's the way it's done according to the one opinion, right? That's not the question, right? What's the question?
Because it wasn't the shape of it.
What's the question, though? What's the question, Leslie? Where do you get it from the simple meaning of the text? Rashi's the fact that this is what was handed down at Mount Sinai, and it was told that we're learning in the Talmud class now, right? That this is what was told at Mount Sinai. This is what you should do. That's not an argument. The argument, or the question is, where do you get this from the simple meaning of the verse? Don't just follow what we're saying, not go off tangent, please. Right? You follow the question? Menachem Hillel? Are you with us? Earth to Menachem Hillel. I think he's in a heavenly sphere. Again, where do you see in the simple meaning of the text that it says that they put oil on the loaves? That's not the question. But where do you see in the simple meaning of the text that it means that he did it like a nun or Greek? First of all, it's a nun of ours. A Greek chi is a nun of ours.
That's the question. How come it says that and then he says he had never hit it?
Furthermore, the Rebbe asks, what do we care about what the Greeks did? Say the nun of ours. What, we care the Greeks, the way the Greeks did it? Where does that come to anything? Follow? So the Rebbe answers. The chi is coming to hint about the kahuna. Oh, the word kayin, like you said.
I read it. The Chumash.
Oh, it said it there. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Okay, this is okay, good. Because it starts with the letter Chav, right?
Mhm.
So that's why Rashi emphasizes the Chav of the Greek, even though what's a Greek got to do with us over here, right? And therefore he has to say that he has to explain that means our nun, but their Chav, that in Greek, what does that got to do with anything? I mean, how does that fit in over here with the Greeks, anyways? This is the distinction between the Rekike Matzos, the wafers, and the Rekike in Parshas Vayikra. Vayikra also speaks about it, but there it speaks about about an offering, not this one-time offering. This is a one-time offering for inaugurating the Kohanim, right? There, it's not speaking about the inaugurating of the Kohanim. It's speaking about that form of offering that would be brought on the altar. So since here it's about bringing them into the Kahuna, that's why it's only that one opinion he brings, because the Greek chi is for koyin. But in Parashat Vayikra, we're speaking about the personal offering that a person could bring in the altar to the altar, not as inauguration of the koyin, but for their own personal offering. So there, it doesn't have a connection specifically to the koyin. Therefore, there he brings both opinions. Psh. Got it?
Just for one thing.
Okay.
Inauguration of the Kohen,